I was inside a tricycle heading to the market when my tricycle passed beside a woman who dressed indecently, quotes and unquotes. Um, I mean, the gown, okay, give you most of her boobs and it barely covers her butt, basically a nightgown. And it was actually in the afternoon. There was another woman in the tricycle who made a comment. To buy your money and the tricycle man also said, Ewutele Shemora. For those who don't understand Yoruba, the woman means after later on they will say that they raped them. And then the tricycle guy said, see the way this one dressed. And they actually talked it further for a while. As a guy, I was triggered by what that woman said because I don't find it reasonable. I mean, dressing indecently does not warrant raping. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Think about it. And it's not like she was dressing indecently in an enclosed area, so it is probably during the day. So who will rape her during the day on the roadside? And further, it actually came out from a woman, makes it more triggering. But let's leave that aside. I watched a video on someone's status. I may probably still find the video if I'm lucky enough, and I'm going to reference it. But then there's a particular thing that the woman said. He said, since women are the one raising the kids, okay, for example, I know a lot of value that my parents disposed to me, or my parents that I earned from my parents. So rather than you now, note the word that I just used, rather, rather than you correcting the female child not to wear this, not to do this, not to do that. Why not train your male child that rape is wrong? Don't harass women at all. Now, I would have clapped the woman. Okay, I'm talking about the the content this time around that is online. If she had said, while you are training your female child, again, while you are training your female child not to do this, not to do that, do this at the same time. And that is what brought to this conversation: indecent dressing versus harassment in neutral standpoints. One thing that anybody who probably knows me is that I'm very indifferent about the concept of indecent dressing, or I believe that you own your body and you can dress the way you find fit. I am hardly triggered by how a lady dressed. Now, don't get me wrong. If you reveal a significant part of your body and I see a good show and I feel like watching, I will look at you. Because so much that you have the right of what to put on, I also have the right of how much I want to look at somebody. Maybe because I'm admiring you. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do it to the extent that I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. And I'm not looking at you because I'm lustful. At times, I'm just trying to understand the science behind your dressing, the logic behind this. It's just the same way I'm going to look at a lady that is extraordinarily dressed, that is covered at head to toe. The same way I'm going to look at a lady, like if I'm marveled. So I'm not going to look at, because now your own situation down, you dress somehow that is different from the conventional way people dress. I'm not going to save you that particular. So like I'm saying, like if something called for me to look at you that much, I'm going to just as much like if something caused me to look at a lady that much. And remember the idea, and that's the message that you are trying to pass across. You can dress the way you want. And now that is where you now get wrong, because you think like I'm now looking at you that way because of what you wore. No, it's basically because I'm trying to understand something. Like I'm not going to overlook a designer because it's showing your butt. Think about it. Now let me leave that aside. Okay, now another scenario. I had the privilege to chat with a lady, and that day she was wearing a skimpy dress. Okay, very all this old school. How do we call it? All these old school mini skirts. You know that vibe now. So so she shared something very interesting and fascinating and respectful. She said most time when she wants to wear something that she knows that is going to trigger attention, attract unnecessary harassment, catcalling, etc., she would prefer she uses the boats. That way she gets her privacy. I mean, she's going to be in the boat, and of course, maybe the boat driver is expected to have more brain, of course, or maybe further to the boat driver or the Uber driver is, at least you can report in a tow if he or she harassed you. And then when you get to where you're going, you'll be respected equally, because the space at least permits it. And now, the interesting, like the day that she was sharing this thing, she was basically sharing about how she was catcalled in a public bus by an Agbero. I mean, the conductor. So she wore a very short skirt that very day. So, and she was talking about how men can be mannerless, itao, and all those kind of a thing. And how that guy asked for asked for a number, and how that guy insulted her. Would this thing and that. Now, why I reference all these things, I'm going to go back to it. Now, I said earlier, I'm very much indifferent about the way people dress, because like the way it is your body, honestly. And most time when you dress somehow, and that's where I reference the third one. When you dress somehow, you understand the kind of reaction that you're going to get based on the current society that you live in. Now, I repeat, when you dress a particular way, you understand the kind of reaction you are going to get based on society that you are going to live in. I mean, the lady in question that I'm talking about knows that, oh, if she dresses this way, the guys, the conductor, itao, they can do this, they can do that, they can do this, they can do that. By the way, the woman in the bus, in the tricycle, knows that some dressings are provocative enough to trigger some kind of actions. Now, let's go to the real gist. Does indecent dressing warrant harassment? Capital letter, no. But the truth is, why are you asking this question exactly? Me? Or an educated Adbiro who does not understand the dynamic of who does not understand the concept of choice and how much he needs to respect your privacy. When we talk about something like rape, harassment, we usually have the idea of generalizing it, like it's all men that harass women, it's all men that catcall women. The lady in question knows that there's a guy at where she's going, and she was not expecting him to harass her or catcall her, because she expects a manner or a level of maturity, education from her. Now, it is totally different from Aladbiro, who, me, a fellow guy, like Okunri, I try my best to avoid them. Now, when I was trying to explain some concept to somebody, okay, about like this Lagos, okay, and we know Lagos has about 2 to 3, 4 divisions. We have the island, we have the mainland. I mean, the tush part of mainland that is close to the island, like Yaba, like Bagada, like we know those areas, like Ikeja. I'm not about I'm not talking about Computer Village, and we know the areas that are rough, we know areas that are busy. The way I hold my phone, okay, on my streets is not the way I hold my phone if I'm at somewhere like Computer Village or somewhere like Mushin. No disrespect at people that stay there. I'm not talking about the old Mushin. I don't even know Lagos that much. I mean, there are areas that I'm very, very disposable with my phone. Just put it in there. My gym, I throw my phone anywhere. Guys, they are Lagos people, and I'm not expecting my phone to get stolen. Now, the same idea can actually be passed down, and that's what I'm talking about, like indecent dressing. Does it really equate to harassment? Now, I know very well that if I hold my phone carelessly at the market, it can be stolen. In fact, it is going to be stolen. Like, I'm not going to be surprised. If I'm in the bus, I know that I need to hold my phone with a particular style. If I'm inside another kind of a bus, I know how I'm going to hold my phone. There are ones that I even lock my phone inside the bag. So now, why can't we try to pass this knowledge down to women? Like, I know that there's thieves in the society, and I think that I know that not everybody are thieves. But I know that at some areas you need to be more careful, because it is likelier, okay, for your phone to be stolen. And you know some areas that, okay, no, you're at peace of mind. I think the same thing can be passed across to women, and rather than we now shouting like now that's where the neutral or standpoint comes in. this thing that I just said, I need to do a lot of narratives before I open my mouth to say, because you guys are now going to like, oh, because she dressed this way does not that you should rape her. No, because I hold my phone careless does not that I should steal it. Now, I'm not really equating stealing to rape. Please don't misquote me. But now, because I hold my phone careless does not that they should steal it. No, but it's just like for the time being, I understand the dynamic of what is going on. In 5-10 years, the area that I think that I know that if I hold my phone careless, they're going to steal it. That place would have changed. Maybe people there would have been more enlightened, more educated. Maybe they are going to be richer. Maybe they've switched it up. I don't know. A lot of things could have changed. Okay, I mean, many years ago we have more record of petty stealing. I don't know, maybe it's still the same situation, but at least the ones that as much record that I've been hearing, the number reduced. So now the same thing can be passed down to like ladies. You have your right of dressing. If you are going to some places, go to the gym for example. A lot of people are screaming about indecent dressing, etau. In fact, including fellow ladies, but no guy is going to say like they are going to harass you, because it comes with enlightenment, education, understanding, and further, you need to just respect people, irrespective of wherever their choice is. Now, those people already, the kind of category of people who go to that kind of spaces already understand these dynamics. So we all know these areas that you have your freedoms. I'm not saying that you don't have your freedom in other area. Don't misquote me. I know some areas that the guys that you most likely meet are the ones that you yourself you can even gauge their brain. Like, you cannot gauge their common sense. You cannot gauge their orientation. You cannot predict how they cannot react. So for example, when the lady told me that she was catcalled, well, it's not like she was surprised anyway, and it's not like any lady is new to being called Oloshu in Nigeria. So that's aside. But it would be irrational of her to now make it seem like out of the ordinary, because it's something that even me, a guy, is going to happen to me. And we are living in a world that is still constantly evolving, that is still learning new things. So now, what is the takeaway here? The takeaway here is like, yeah, we know, ladies, we know that indecent dressing or no indecent dressing, it's your body. Okay. We know that indecent or no indecent dressing does not warrant you being harassed, you've been catcalled, you've been insulted, you've been made uncomfortable. But we also know that our level of exposure, our level of adaptability, our level of acknowledgement, our level of education, our level of everything, okay, is not at it's not at the peak yet. So people is like part of the protest. Yeah, I know, I agree, and I take it for you. It's just like, but even while we are protesting, we know that, oh, like if it's not only in Nigeria, even abroad, we know that, oh, police can interrupt, police can do this and that. We put different measures in place to ensure that we still get our message across, but we know that this thing may happen and we expect it. So don't try to like now start painting all men devilish, because like we've not all attained a particular level of exposure, of orientation. And also don't make the mistake of trying to say like, or think like every area at the same zone. A guy knows areas that if he walks anyhow, he may get killed. If you know wear this kind of clothes that you're not supposed to wear, maybe you wear a particular flashy color that belongs to a particular group. So we are aware of this, so we could put the same dynamic in place. That is just my own take. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. And again, welcome to the Provocative podcast. If you'd like to join me on my couch, just click on the form below, or just click the link in below, or drop a comment, and I would be happy to have you on the podcast. Thank you.